Okay, welcome everyone. Today's topic is virtual live property tour, deal, no deal. Okay, so what we're gonna do today is we're gonna analyze a property that I got from a wholesaler, and then we're gonna decide if it's a deal or no deal. Okay, so I'm gonna show you how the pros walk the property. So I'm gonna show you what are the things that you need to pay attention to, how you analyze the deal. And we need to do this fairly quickly, right? Because real estate is a speed game, right? So you really want to make sure that you analyze the deals very, very quickly. Okay, so having said that, this is the subject property. So the subject property is in Hanover Park, okay? So it's the one that you see on your screen. So let's go ahead and take a look at the property right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, first of all, we're going to be looking at the outside of the property. So the location is 1602 Liberty Street in Hanover Park. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start from scratch. So I'm going to log into DealVault so that you understand, right? So for instance, this is the scenario and this is the sequence of steps that you need to follow. You're given a deal, right? Let's say you get this in your inbox. The street name and then the city, right? So right here, we're going to put in the property address, okay? So right now, I'm not going to disclose how much the wholesaler is selling this for after we do the analysis, right? So this is the first step that you need to do. So Hanover Park, the first thing that you need to understand is Hanover Park. Is that an area that you want to invest in, right? So how many of you are familiar with Hanover Park? I'm sort of familiar, but not 100%, okay? So first thing before you get into analyzing the property is the area. Is this an area that you want to really invest? And then you also need to know what type of area is this? Is this a rental market? Is this a flipping market? Because when you look at a deal, you need to start with the end in mind. Just like Stephen Covey in his 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, begin with the end in mind. So in real estate, you have 3 exit strategies. You either wholesale, flip, or hold the property. So that's gonna drive your approach as to what market you are gonna invest. So the first thing is, we're gonna go to area reports, and then I'm gonna type in Hanover. I wanna see what Hanover is all about. So I'm just gonna put in HAN and then search. Boom, Hanover Park, okay? So right here, we can just quickly take a look at the summary of the area. So this is a B area. We recommend cash flow approach. Livability score is 78. Anything over 75, it's a good market, okay? Now, the next column that I want to look at is, I have 2 columns that I want to look at. Sweet spot to buy, DE stands for detached, so single family home. So the sweet spot to buy a single family home is 193,000, okay? And then I want to know the median rental income for a 3-bedroom, so it's $1,395. So right off the bat, we already know a lot about Hanover Park, even without going into the details, okay? So this is gonna tell us if we wanna pursue buying this property, we have pretty much 2 exit strategies. Either we wholesale the property or we buy and hold the property. Now, something to keep in mind that catches my eye right here. I mean, I like the fact that it's a B market. Remember, we have A through D, A being the best, D being a war zone. So B is the bread and butter. But remember what we talked about on Tuesday, the 1% rule of thumb. So if you buy a property, let's say for, in this case, 197,000, you should collect at least 1% of that for the numbers to cash flow. So in this case, guess what? If you were to pay 193, you would need to collect in rent $1,938, okay? And look at the median rental income for a 3-bedroom. It's only $1,395. So to me, boom, that's a red flag, right? So the deal that we're presented, it better be cheaper than 140,000. Does that make sense? Even before looking at the property. So I'm gonna disclose, the seller is asking for 111,000 for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, okay? So think about this, 111,000. 1% of that should be the rent that you need to collect. So we should be collecting 1,100. So in this case, the median rental income in Hanover Park for a 3-bedroom, guess what, is greater than 1,100. So to me, boom, I like that, right? Because I might be able to collect, let's say, $1,400. So if we pay 111,000, then 1% is 1,100. If we can rent the property for 1,400, we might be cash flowing about $300. So to me, I just like this, right? So far, I like it because Hanover Park is a B market. And remember, in this crisis, you've got to focus on B and A markets. Why? Because C markets, the more challenging markets, and D markets have been hit the hardest. Why? Because primarily blue collar people live there. So those are the people who have been laid off, okay? B markets and A markets, they're gonna feel a pinch for the crisis, but guess what? They're white collar employees. So most of them get to work from home remotely. So they have not lost their job. That is why right now you need to focus on rentals in B and A markets. So I really like this. I want to go into deeper analysis so far because we don't want to do flips right now with the crisis. Everything is shut down, the courts, so your flip is going to sit on the market. Villages are closed, so you won't be able to get inspections, pre-sale inspections, permits, and so forth. So right now is not the time to do a flip. So far, I like it. So the next step is I want to go into deeper analysis on the property, right? Because the area so far looks good. Because guess what, friends? This is one of the biggest mistakes investors make, right? They get so excited about the property, but they forget about the area, right? You need to start with the area first, right? It's like starting with the right foot. That's what happened to us about 2.5 years ago. We invested in the wrong area. So that costed us a lot of money and headaches. So the next step is to take a look at the property now, right? So I put in the address right here. So now we are going to do a power search. So what the power search does is going to find everything that there is to know about this property, okay? Whether it's in the MLS, off market, you name it, okay? So we're gonna go after this property. So right now, what ChicagoDealVault does is going to give you the 3 numbers that you really need to know when you analyze a property, okay? So you need 3 numbers. You need the ARV, after repair value, which means that let's say we buy the property for 111,000. Once we repair the property, how much can we sell it for, okay? That's the ARV. The second estimate that you need is the rehab. How much are you gonna put into the property? Obviously, you will not know precisely until you see the property from the inside. And that's what we're gonna do today, okay? We're gonna look at the property from the inside virtually. And the third number that we're gonna give you, and this is super, super important, and this is where a lot of investors make a huge mistake. They overpay for the property. So right here, based on the ARV, a 3-bedroom, 2-bath in Hanover Park averages about 200 to 220, okay? So given a rehab estimate between 20 to 30,000, this is with the assumption that it's in Hanover Park, that it's about 1,100, right here we have the square footage, 1,152. So 1,152 square feet, and that the rehab is light to medium. What do we mean by light to medium? That means that we're gonna be updating the flooring, painting, the kitchens, the bathrooms, light fixtures, and that's pretty much it. We're not gonna be putting new windows, new roof, new mechanicals, new plumbing, new electric. We're not going to do any of that because that's going to increase the rehab by 10,000 every time we touch an entire system, okay? So this is just, when you open up a property, the least you're going to be spending is about 15,000, okay? So in this case, based on the square footage of this property, we are estimating between 20 to 30,000, assuming it's light to medium rehab, okay? And this is what's really important to me. Before we go into deeper analysis, we are going to tell you the most you should pay for the property depending on your exit strategy. So if you're gonna flip the property, the most you should pay is 124. This is with the assumption that you need to have a 20% profit, okay? If you don't accomplish or get a 20% return on investment on a flip, you shouldn't even do the flip. What this means is that if you sell the property for 200,000 on a flip, you need to make 20% profit. So 20% of 200,000, that's 40,000. Unless you make 40,000, you should not even do the deal. So this is gonna tell you, if you're gonna do a flip, you better pay 124 and invest no more than 30,000 to do a successful flip. Now, rental. Right now, remember, we need to focus on rental. So based on the ARV, the most we should pay is 145. Well, guess what? This property, we can get it for 111,000, right? So I'm liking it so far because guess what? This is my personal advice. Even if you're gonna do a rental, guess what? You should strive to pay the flip price. Why? Because you never know. If for whatever reason you change your mind and you say, well, you know what? I don't want to rent the property. I want to flip the property because I want to release some cash, right? So therefore, you need to have both exit strategies readily available to you. Okay, so that is why even if you're gonna do the rental, you need to pay the flip price. Okay, keep that in mind. And then if you're gonna wholesale that property, obviously you need to pay the lowest price. Why? Because you need to leave meeting the bone for the flipper or for the one or for the investor who's gonna hold it. Does that make sense? So far, I like to look at these three numbers, right? I won't go into deeper analysis unless I can pay the flip price. So right now they're asking 111. DealVault tells me that the most I should pay is 124. So I'm liking it so far, right? Because the numbers are right there. I don't need to compute. I don't need to think. I don't need to do anything, right? The numbers are right in front of me. So now let's go into the next step. Let's look at the property. Does that make sense? So before you guys go see properties and start running the numbers, you need to know the market. Number two, you need to know three numbers: ARV, rehab, and the most you should pay for the property. And then you go see the property. That's what we're gonna do next. So the third step is to look at the property. So before looking at the property, guess what's so important when analyzing a deal? Location, 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 right? So what I'm going to show you right now, this is the map right here, and then you see the blue icon. I'm gonna zoom in. This is the location of the property. It's on Liberty. So guess what? Right off the bat, I see a problem. Do you guys see the problem? You got it. So the problem is that it is very close to a super busy street or highway, Lake Street. You see, this is like a 3-4 lane one way. So here you have in your backyard about 8 lanes, right? No less than 8 lanes right here, 6 to 8 lanes. So when you are close to a busy street or highway, guess what? Your property appreciation, marketability of the property is affected. Okay, so right now, this is something that we need to write down. So location is not the best. Why? Because in your backyard, you have a highway. Okay, so now the next thing that I like to do is a street view. Okay, I like to look at the property very close. So this is the subject property. I'm going to zoom in. So the first thing that I like to look at it is what's the exterior made type? So in this case, is siding. Okay, so you should always favor brick over siding, right? There's like a $10,000 to $20,000 difference, and people obviously like brick versus siding. Okay, so so far siding, it looks decent. It has a one-car garage. That's okay. I won't discriminate against siding. So now the next step is to go inside the property. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we are going to take a peek inside the property, because what I told you on the rehab is just an estimate between 20 to 30,000, but now we really need to take a peek at the property. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm gonna make this pretty big. So here, okay, now that's the property. So I'm going to move a little bit outside so that you can see the floor plan. Okay, so right here, let's look at the floor plan. Can everyone see this okay, or do you want me to make it a little bit bigger? I can make it a little bit bigger. Let me know if this is okay.
Yeah, just a little bit bigger.
A little bit bigger. Okay, so let me make this full screen. Okay, so I'm making this full screen, and then we're gonna just quickly take a look at the property in a 3D way. Okay, so this is what I want you to know. Disregard all the clutter, right? So you need to have laser beam eyes. When you look at a property from the inside, you need to look at the high ticket items. What are the high ticket items? Mechanicals, such as the HVAC. So you want to know the water heater, furnace. You need to look at the ceiling, right? To see if you see any water spots. You need to look at the basement, right? So in this case, this property does not have a basement. So it's on a slab, okay? So no basement. So that is why no basement, it's not the end of the world, but it's not the best, right? So for marketability purposes, a property with the basement is gonna add 15 to 20,000. I mean, it's big. People love basements, okay? So we're gonna go inside the property. I just wanna quickly show you all around. So you have a kitchen right here, then you have the living room next to the kitchen, and we're gonna walk inside the property. And then they have a bathroom right here. Actually, this is the laundry. And then you have, let me go to on the other side to see where the bathroom is. So you have the living room, that's the kitchen. So next to the kitchen, I believe, yeah, this is a bathroom. So there's a bathroom and a bedroom. So there's one bedroom, one bath downstairs. You have your laundry, your kitchen, your living area. Now, let's look at the second floor. So far, what I see on the second floor, I see the blue room, and then I see an orange room, right? And we're gonna walk inside the room. And then I see a bathroom on this side, okay? And then we see the stairs going up. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a peek in the inside, okay? So we're gonna look at the living room, okay? So remember, right here, disregard the clutter. That's all gonna go away. So what I told you is that we wanna do light to medium rehab. So what we mean by that is updating the flooring, paint, light fixtures. So I wanna see the condition of the flooring to see if we can use it. I think the flooring is in great shape. It's engineered or laminated floor. The walls look okay, right? The door, outside door, that's the one that goes to the front yard. Now we're gonna go inside here. So right here, we're entering the kitchen, okay? Let me walk and look at the kitchen. Okay, so when you look at the kitchen, you wanna look at the type of countertop, the type of cabinets to see if you can resurface the cabinets or do they just need to be replaced. Appliances, they need to go, right? So right now, even if you rent the property, stainless steel appliances, are not expensive. You can buy the whole set for about $2,800, and that's going to make it big difference. Okay, so the kitchen is fairly small. So let's go inside the kitchen. As you can see here, I mean, look at the cabinets. I mean, these are really old. I don't think we can surface or these cabinets. These looks very dated, okay? So my recommendation is to, and then look at the kitchen sink. This all needs to go. The countertop, this is wood, okay? So the kitchen is very dated. All the appliances are very dated. So if you want to command higher rents, obviously we need to update the kitchen. So now let's go back into the living area, and then from the living area, let's walk and see what's right here. Let's walk into this room. So this is the first bedroom. Okay, let me see the light fixtures. You know, it's a ceiling fan, pretty dated. It's super dark. Okay, very cluttered, and it's a good size. I mean, you can fit like a queen size or double bed. It's sort of a small. I want to take a look. Let me see what this room is. Okay, so this is the laundry room. Okay, so this is one of the rooms that you want to take a look at, because here you only have a washer. It's a mechanical room is right here. So look at the water heater. It looks in pretty good shape. So the water heater looks newer. Okay, so that's a good thing. And then next to it, you have the furnace. So this tells you that this has central air. Okay, but obviously on the outside, we would need to check that it has the condenser or the AC, right? Because an AC is about $2,000. Okay, that's something that we would need to check from the outside. So that's all the duct work, the return, and the supply. Okay, perfect. Now I want to look at the bathroom. Okay, let's look at the bathroom. Let me go inside the bathroom. So let me look at the bathtub. Let's get a closer peek at the bathroom. So the shower head, so it looks pretty dated. These are the bathrooms. This is like plastic. It's all around. This is the cheapest bathroom that you can possibly have, okay? Because it's a built-in. It comes with the tub. Let's look at the vanity. Okay, the mirror, the lighting, it's awful. That's gotta go. The vanity, everything has to go. And the flooring, black, it's not the best, right? Lighter colors, much better, right? So you don't want dark colors. That's very dated. So far, on the first floor, we found the HVAC room, which is the laundry room, one bathroom, the living area, and the kitchen. Now, let's move up to the second floor. Okay, let me see if, let's take the stairs. I'm sure this is gonna take us up to the stairs. Okay, so here, I'm gonna go to the second floor. Okay, so we are on the second floor. So remember that we saw a blue and an orange. So let me just walk around. So right here, let me step right here. And then if I go to the right, oh, okay. So these are the stairs going down. Yeah, so the door was closed. So right here, so what I told you is that you need to look at the ceiling, right? You want to make sure, let me just be on the second floor, not the stairs. Let me back up. And then, okay, so I'm inside the room. There's like a small closet right here in this blue bedroom. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look at the ceiling to see if we see any watermarks, right? Because that's gonna tell you the condition of the roof, because the roof could be 7 to 10,000, okay? So always take a look at the roof, take pictures, right? So especially in the corners. So far, I don't see any stains. The room it's a good size, but let me tell you something. So here you have a closet. This is sort of like a small walk-in closet. That's what determines that it's a bedroom, right? A room without a closet, it's not a legal bedroom. Listen to what I said. a room without a closet is not a legal bedroom. So this is a legal bedroom. Now I want to go to the third bedroom. We saw one downstairs. Now this is the second downstairs. And then right here, there's another room. If I continue to walk, okay, so let's go inside this third bedroom. So this is pretty small. I'm gonna take a look at the ceiling very quickly. So the ceiling looks okay. Ceiling looks okay right here. So it's pretty small. As you can see, this is like a single bed, so it's fairly small. Now let me go inside. I turned too quickly. I believe there's a bathroom in here. So let me show you something. Here you have some fans. So to me, that's not a great sign, right? So if you have fans right here, that's telling me that what's happening with the ductwork, okay? So does it have central air throughout on the first and second floor? So let me know if you see the supply or the return. You need to see the vents, okay? The grills. I don't see them, so I'm just going around. I see a bathroom right here. Let's see, this is a full bathroom. So on the left, you see the shower, right? And then the shower looks pretty dated. Look at the bathtub, that's pretty old. And then this is a tile. This is an 8-inch tile. So this is very dated. The vanity, it's old, it's super filthy. But you know, I just don't see, I don't see the vents. It's got some graffiti in the bathroom. So I don't see, oh, here, you see the vent on the floor? Okay, so this is the supply. So heat is in this room. Now, something that I wanna point out is, look at the light switches, okay? So these look pretty dated. And then I would like to see an outlet. I'm gonna show you why. Because there are some outlets that they don't have the ground. So that tells me that the electric system is pretty dated, that you might have conduit. That means the flexible cable, and that's not allowed in many villages. Oh, here, there's an outlet right here on the wall. Let me zoom in into this outlet right here. So it is just hard to see, but we might have some electrical updates to be done on this property. So far, let me walk over to the next room. There's something that I don't like about this layout. Did you notice that to get to the second bedroom, I mean, this is the third bedroom. To get to the third bedroom, you need to go through the second bedroom. Did you notice that? Let me show you on the layout. So let's take a look at the layout again. You see, so we walked on the second floor right here, but from here to go to the next bedroom, so it doesn't make sense to go from one room to another one, right? You need to have like sort of like an aisle because the stairs are right here, where the red curtain is. So this is where you come up and then you enter the first bedroom. Now, if you want to go to the other bedroom, you have to cross one bedroom. That's not how it's supposed to be, right? So this is what we call a quirky layout. Imagine if your bedroom, it's the orange, you need to bother whoever lives in the blue one to get to yours. It doesn't make sense, right? So this is a quirky layout. I don't like this layout so far. So now let's look at, I want to make sure that we've looked at everything on these. So the first floor, that's the entire layout from the top. It's super cluttered. It's just hard to see from top. So let's just go back to the first floor. Yeah, that's the first floor, the stairs, right here, the kitchen, the bathroom. So it's hard to see that way. So it's better to just walk the floors. Yeah. So far, this property needs new bathrooms, new kitchen, new appliances, paint. Oh, look at the outlets. You see right here? I want to make sure, point that out. Whoa, look at those outlets. So this is not going to pass inspection. Okay, I went out of the bathroom, but what I want to show you in this bathroom, let me go back to the bathroom. They need to be GFI bathrooms. So this is somewhere here. We have the bathroom right here, right in front of us. Okay, so they need to be GFI outlets. So definitely we're gonna need some updates in the electrical. We do not know anything about the plumbing until we start removing, let's say, the vanities and we start redoing the bathrooms. So let me tell you how much it cost for the updates. This is just a rule of thumb. It works incredible. If you want to do a brand new bathroom, that means that you're going to be doing tile on the floor, tile all around the bathtub, new cabinet, new vanity, everything brand new is going to be $4,000 for one bathroom. Okay, that includes labor and material. So right here, we're looking at like 2 bathrooms. So right off the bat is $8,000 just for the bathrooms. Now, when it comes to the electrical system, okay, you're gonna spend, as a rule of thumb, between $2,000 to $4,000 on updates. Like all of these require updates throughout, you know, the outlets, switches, and I'm not familiar with the Hanover Park village, but we need to find out if they require a pre-sale inspection, right? So, because if they do, they're going to inspect everything, right, before you buy the property, and they're going to find out if it has conduit, okay? And if it has conduit, they may not allow that. So you might need to rewire the entire house, okay? So this could be like a $10,000 to $12,000 job. So that's something to keep in mind. As far as plumbing is, again, $2,000 to $4,000 if it's not big, right? But we don't know until we start touching the bathrooms and the kitchen. Now, in the kitchen, you're going to spend just in appliances, okay? It's going to be $2,800 for a washer, dryer, fridge, stove, range. It's about $2,800. If you want to add the washer and dryer, it's going to be about $1,000, $800 to $1,000. So in appliances, you can spend, I would say, average $3,500 just for appliances, including a washer and a dryer. Here, you need a dryer for sure. Okay, and I'm going to show you. I'm just speaking out loud the rehab numbers, but I'm going to show you the spreadsheet that we use. That in pretty much minutes, we come up with a very accurate scope of work, okay? So, but I want to make sure that you understand the numbers. So in the kitchen, to redo a kitchen is going to be about $7,000. That will include the cabinets. That's going to include the countertop. Just the countertop itself, if it's granite, it's going to be no less than $1,500 to $2,000 just for the granite countertop. I'm not talking about quartz. Quartz is even more expensive, but for this type of neighborhood, you don't want to do quartz. Granite is going to do the job. So $1,500 plus the cabinets is going to be probably $2,000 to $3,000. All the plumbing fixtures, light fixtures, plus appliances. In the kitchen, you're spending between $3,000 to up to $10,000. Just the kitchen, okay, itself. So if you do the math, one kitchen plus 2 bathrooms. So it's $10,000 for the kitchen, and then 2 bathrooms for each. Right off the bat, I have $18,000. Okay. Now we need to look at the mechanicals, right? So the big question is, does this property? It has all the ductwork for central air, but the question is, does it have an AC unit, like a condenser outside, right? Because that itself, it's going to be $2,000 just for the condenser, okay? Because the one thing that I didn't like is that on the second floor, I saw a fan. So if you have central air with cooling, obviously, why would you need a fan, right? So that's something that we need to find out. Does it have an AC? Because that's just 2,000. Let's be very conservative and that it doesn't have. So between the AC, 2 bathrooms and a kitchen, it's 20,000, right? We have not touched the flooring, the paint, okay? Just for flooring, the property is about 1,100 square feet. So for flooring, labor and material is going to be between $3 to $4 a square feet. So just to keep the numbers simple, it's going to be multiply 1,000 times, let's say, 3.5. So it's going to be 3,500, 3,500 just for the flooring. So adding this up in my mind, I'm at 23,500 with the flooring, because upstairs it had carpet. So whether we remove carpet, we put laminated. So 23,500. Painting a house of about 1,000 to 1,500 square feet is going to be 3,000, labor and material. So 23 plus 23.5 plus, let's say 3, we are so far at 26,000. Okay, and guess what? What about electrical? What about plumbing, right? For the electrical, if it requires to remove conduit throughout, and then what about if we need a new service panel? What about if we need to upgrade the service, right? Electric is a big question mark right now to me, because it could be between 2,000 all the way to 12,000, 10,000. So electric is a big question item right here, because I'm at 26,000, you know, with the flooring and the paint, 26,000 right now, without taking into account the electric. Plumbing is going to be like 2,000, so 28,000 with the plumbing. So the big question is the electric. Best case scenario, we're going to hit 30,000, no questions, with the electric. If the electric just requires new outlets, switches, GFIs, if it's minor, we're hitting 30,000 right off the bat, okay? And this is, we're just touching the inside of the house, okay? We still need to take a look at the roof, right? What about the roof condition? Luckily, there were no leaks on the second floor. So hopefully the roof is okay. Fascia, gutters, right? Windows. From the inside, it had curtains, so we were not able to see the windows because each window is going to be $275, labor and material already installed. So hopefully windows are okay, but you know, based on the condition of the property, it's pretty dated. They have not done any maintenance. So that's another thing to consider. Windows, roof, those are big ticket items, okay? Because right now we're at 30,000 and we still have not done roof. We need to take a look at the windows and then landscaping outside, right? We need to do landscaping. So my gut estimate would be no less than 35,000, okay? Just without looking at any calculators, any spreadsheets. I mean, I can tell you the numbers like by the penny. I'm gonna pull up my the spreadsheet we use and I'll show you. 35,000, and then something that I did not say that you need to keep in mind, the demo work, demo and cleanup, okay? So right now you see all the clutter. What you see is what you get, right? So guess what? You're gonna need to get at least a truck, a dumpster. You are gonna need to get a crew to get all that stuff out. So demo work for the bathrooms, just to clean up the house before you start working on the house, it's gonna be about 1,500 to 2,000, okay? Demo work. And then obviously once you finish a rehab, you need to bring a cleaner, and the cleaning on this property is gonna be about 300 to 400. So that is why my rough number, being very conservative, is 35,000 for the rehab. Keep in mind, the big question item to me is the electric system, roof, and windows. And we're being very conservative, and I'm making the assumption that we need an AC or the condenser outside the property. That's a $2,000 expense. Okay, so $35,000, it's quite a lot. Okay, so the question is this a good deal or not, right? So let me just go back to the analysis. Well, before I go back to the analysis, I'm going to show you my spreadsheet right here. So this is just a quick spreadsheet that we usually take to appointments. I'm just going to show you, give you a quick rundown of it. So we're going to put in the property address. So the orange is pretty much the analysis in a sort of like in a nutshell. Location, right? So location, I'm going to put, kind of sucks because you have Lake Street behind you. So area, this is a B area, okay? Now the lease price, 111,000. Taxes, that's something to keep in mind, right? So taxes on this property are 4,500, and then square footage about 1,100. It's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, but guess what? This 3-bedroom, 2-bath, I don't like the concept of the 2 bedrooms upstairs, right? It's quirky. You should not get to a bedroom from another bedroom. It just logically doesn't make sense, but it's just the way it was built. So to me, these, even if we pull comps for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, they're not going to be comparable, right? We should be also looking at 2 bedrooms, 2 baths, because that quirky layout on the second floor is going to hurt the ARV, right? We cannot compare a legal 3-bedroom with this property, right? Because remember what I told you, a room without a closet is not a bedroom. So the orange room on the second floor, let me quickly show you, does not have a closet. Okay, so if I go back to the layout here from the second floor, let me take you to the second floor. So this orange room, we're inside the orange room. This orange room does not have a closet. Okay, so you have the bed. When you turn around, you just enter the bathroom right here. There's no closet, right? So technically, this is not a legal bedroom. Does that make sense? So the blue room should be sort of like a den. I mean, this should be like a master bedroom. That's what people do with these layouts. You shouldn't make 2 bedrooms upstairs, but that's how it is right now, right? So we're going to have issues when we find comps, okay? And also with the appraisal, so we're going to need to take that into account. So let me just quickly show you. So 3-bedroom, 2 baths, basement, no basement. So this is on a slab. So this does not apply, it's not finished. The next item is garage. Yeah, it does have a garage. It's a 2-car garage. Then exterior material is siding. And then these negative factors. Here you have BC or highway. I'm going to put highway. And this is a big factor, okay? Big negative factor. Schools are good. So I look, the schools are 7, 8, 9, 7, 8, 10. So this is elementary, junior high, and high school in Hanover Park. Now, floodplain is not in a floodplain. Approach or exit strategy, rental. So let me just quickly show you what we use for the analysis. So we do the pre-construction, right? So here you have drawings, and this is how much it's going to cost, average, okay? This is how much we typically pay. So drawings and then permits. Drawings, 1,500. Not all villages require drawings, okay? Only some of them. Bellwood is one of them. Whatever you do, they want blueprints. And then permits. This is flexible depending on the village. So let me show you the way that I do it. So for instance, if I work on a village that does not require blueprints, I'm just gonna make an adjustment, negative 1,500, and then it's zeroes out, right? So my total is 0. I'm not gonna pay for blueprints. So this is So this is my template, and I just decide, yes, I need blueprints, then I leave it alone. If I don't need it, I just put a negative next to it, right? So the next is the demo. This is what I was telling you. Demo, in this case, I'm adding 500 because there's so much clutter in this property. Usually demo is gonna be about 1,000, but there's so much clutter. Actually, I'm gonna add up to another 1,000, right? Because we're gonna need to redo the bathrooms, the kitchen cabinets. It's all dated. We cannot salvage them. The appliances need to go. So that is why this could be close to 2,500 right there. And then dumpster. Dumpster, you might need 2 dumpsters actually. So I'm gonna put another dumpster. Easily, just on demo work, you're looking at 2,800. And then we're gonna go into some of the core or shell. So this depends on every property, right? So for instance, foundation. So hopefully there are no foundation issues. Sump pump. So I'm telling you how much it costs, right? Sump pump is $12.50. Roof. You know, so far by looking at the upstairs, it looked pretty good, right? But we still need to have an inspector. If we get it on the contract, we need to have an inspector, right? Go up in the roof and give us, you know, the condition of it. Masonry, siding, windows. This is what I was telling you about windows. Windows is like $250 each. Exterior paint, soffit, fascia. This could be expensive. Gutters, landscaping. Landscaping could be at least 500, 600. It could go all the way to 1,000. Walkways, exterior doors, porch, decks, driveways, garage. So garage, a two-car garage is 17,000. So if you don't need any of these, all that I do is just zero these out. So I just put in 17,000 to zero these out because we don't need a garage, for instance. So that makes it, oh, it's supposed to be negative. So I just put it negative, and then it's gonna be 0, right? So then the next category right here, then is the HVAC. Remember that I told you, if you need a furnace, oops, it's going too fast. Let me just scroll up. Okay, here, HVAC. So that's phase 4. HVAC. Furnace is about, oops, stop. Let me make it a little bit bigger. Okay, so the furnace is about 1,800. So the furnace that we looked at looks okay so far, but obviously we need to have it inspected. Condenser, this is the unit that I was telling you that goes outside, is 2,000. So this is just HVAC. Electrical, so if you need a panel, new panel, 600. Electrical finishes, fixtures, 2,500. So it's between 2 to 4, right? So that is why the average is 2,500 just on upgrades for electrical. If you need an external service, it's going to be about 1,750. But if you need to rewire the entire house, let's say the house remove the conduit and then put the solid pipe, then that job is going to be a lot more expensive, more than between 5 to 10,000. Okay, so that is not in here, but that's something that is a big question mark for that deal. And then the next phase is plumbing. So for plumbing, you know, water heater is about 850. The water heater that we saw in the property looks really cool. We don't need to touch that one. Plumbing, trim, and fixtures, as I told you, is between about 2,500. Just to update, you know, when you do the bathroom, you're going to change all the plumbing fixtures, the kitchen. So that's about 2,500. That includes labor and material. Then the next is painting, drywall paint. So to paint the house is about 3,000. That is about 1,500 square feet. 3,000, 3,500. Water heater. Oh no. And then what's this? Oh, interior doors. Each door, they're very cheap, right? So they're like 30, 40 bucks each. So what else do we have? Now we move on to the floors. Remember, take the square footage, multiply it by 3 or 3.5. That's how much it's gonna be for engineer flooring or carpet, materials and labor. So in this case, if you have about 1,000 square feet, multiply that by 3, so it's 3,000 or so. So give and take. And then we have the kitchen. So a kitchen, right here, the total will be, if you do the cabinets, countertop is expensive, right? 1750. The backsplash is about 500. Then you have the appliances, 3,000. For the cabinets, that's what I was telling you. A kitchen could go between 7 to 10,000. So kitchen cabinets, depending if you buy them, you can spend about 3,000 to 3,500. I'm gonna put that in there. 3,500 for the kitchen cabinets. So the total cost of a kitchen right here is about 9,000. So my average would be between 8 to 10,000 for a brand new kitchen, okay? And then you go into the bathrooms. A bathroom right off the bat is 4,000, right? And then I just itemize here where you're gonna spend the money. Most of it is gonna be on the tile, right? So you surround the bathtub with tile, the flooring, and then vanities, plumbing fixtures, light fixtures, mirrors, bath accessories, and so forth. It's 4,000. This includes labor and material. However many bathrooms you have, in this case, we have 2 bathrooms. And then we're gonna scroll down. This is all bathrooms. And then the final phase is, I have staging, 2,000, final cleaning, 4,000. So this is pretty much a spreadsheet that we use. This is just very handy, but on top of my head, I just have the numbers that I told you when we were looking at the property itself. So now let's go back and analyze this property in DealVault, right? So right here, the question is this a good deal or no deal, right? So that's the big question. So to me, I just want to hear I want to think what everyone is thinking. But right now, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna pull some comps, right? So right now the ARV is about 200,000 to 221. Let's take this ARV, but think about this. This is the ARV for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. This is a quirky layout, right? So this property is not going to price for 200 or 221. It's going to price for less. I'm thinking it's going to price for closer to like maybe 180. So think about this. Let's just quickly find out what the max allowed offer should be. So this property, I think the most is going to price is going to be 185 ARV after repairs have been made. We're going to multiply these by 70%. I'm going to compute the flip max allowed offer, okay? And to that, we're going to subtract the rehab. So the rehab, I told you, my gut feeling is going to be 35,000 minus 35,000, okay? But guess what? We still have the big question mark of the electric, right? So you should not pay more than 95,000 for this property. We wouldn't pay more than 95,000 for this property. But guess what? The big issue here is the location, right? Let me just remind you of the location. It's like right on the, oops, I maximize these. Right, this is right on the expressway, right? So I'm gonna switch back to the map. And it's faced right next to here, map view, right here. So let me zoom in. It's just pretty bad location, right? So to me, it's not worth it at 111,000. It's not worth it. And then I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna quickly show you what a 3-bedroom, 2-bath looks like, okay? Let me show you how easy it is. So I'm just gonna scroll down. I go to the comps. I'm gonna say bedrooms. Okay, give me just 3 bedrooms and then give me 2 baths that sold in the last, let's say 9 months. Square footage, give me up to 2,000 within a 1-mile radius. Search. Okay. Oh, 2,000, I put 200.
Got 1 bedroom.
Yeah, exactly. Let me put in the, so we got 4 comps. They're all 3-bedroom, 2.5 baths. There's one right here. It's a 2-bedroom. So let me just pull this up. I just want to show you what a comp looks like. Look at the difference. First of all, this is like a true 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,800 square feet. So this is pretty big, but this is a brick home. Look at the curb appeal on this property. Let's go into the inside of this property. So this has been rehab. Look at the kitchen. The appliances, this is what I was telling you, stainless steel. The countertop is granite. Okay, to get this kitchen done like this is gonna be like 10,000. Look at the flooring, look at the paint, the windows. So this is pretty nice. Look at the size of the rooms, even the bedrooms. And then this is the tile work. Remember that I told you on the estimate, it's gonna be 2,000 for the tile work. This is what I'm talking about. Not the plastic already pre-made, tile work around the bathtub and on the flooring. This is gonna be 2,000, okay? Labor and material, because it's pretty much, they need to even do the cement drywall behind the tile. So it's a lot of work. New vanities, the flooring, the paint, the light fixtures. So this is a true 3-bedroom, 2-bath. Yeah, this is pretty nice. And this does not have a garage. So basement, no basement. So this sold for 262,000. Okay, and look at this. It was listed for 249. So it sold 12,000 above asking price in 5 days. I mean, this is crazy. But you saw the difference, right? So the one that we were looking at, and look at the location of this property, right? So it's nowhere near busy streets, right? So this is good location. If I do the street view, you know, pretty nice property. That is why subject property we were looking at, right? It's not gonna price nowhere near that one. So because of the location, just look at the curb appeal. Yeah, I mean, it's just no comparison, right? The layout, this is gonna price 75,000 less than the other one. So that is why this will not appraise the subject property for that, for no more than 180, 190. So to me, this is a no deal. So friends, I would like to know your opinion on the chat. What's your overall thought? I mean, would you be interested in this property? Yes or no? Just put it in the chat. I mean, would you want to do something with this property at 110,000? Does this make sense? So let me see. Yeah, most people are saying no, of course, no. It doesn't make sense. Yeah. Yeah, somebody, Denise, you said this is actually a 2-bedroom house with a tandem room. Exactly. This is not a 3-bedroom. So in fact, that's a good question. You know what? Let's pull some comps that are 2 bedrooms, because this is not a 2-bedroom. So I'm gonna do 2 and then 2, 2, 2, and then I'm gonna see what come up. 2 bedrooms. From 1 to 3 bathrooms. Let me see, I'm gonna go back up to 12 months. Yeah, we're not putting any comps that are 2 bedrooms in Hanover Park. So most of them are 3 bedrooms. So yeah, everyone is saying no, no deal. No deal, absolutely no deal. And you cannot even wholesale this property. So in fact, we're getting these from a wholesaler. So if you want to wholesale these, there's not meat in the room. You need to give enough meat in the room for the wholesaler. So you will need to buy it for like 94,000, but they're asking for 111,000. So it just doesn't make sense. So what I did is I took you through the long route, right, to analyze the property. But let me tell you, you should be able to analyze the property in no more than 2 minutes. So the way to analyze the property, you do a power search. We're gonna give you, I'm just gonna quickly take you through the way you need to analyze this property, okay? I'm gonna do it so fast because I took you on a road trip to deeply analyze the property, but in fact, you should analyze a property in 2 minutes. So when you're giving the property, the first thing is, I want to know the area. So Hanover Park, and then it's a B area. I like it. Livability score is over 75. The sweet spot to buy a detached property right here is 193. So far, so good. The rents are low, so I'm not so happy about that. Now, the next thing that I'm going to do is a power search on the property, right? So this is the property. Let's do a power search, and then we're gonna show you the numbers up front. But remember, location, 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 right? So you need to look at the location. So location is a big deal. So when we look at these, you won't be able to sell these easily. So we would say no to this deal because of the location. It is that simple. The location is a deal breaker. And then not only that, but the quirky second floor layout of a tandem bedroom, it's a big no-no because it's converting the 3-bedroom into a 2-bedroom. Not only that, but the scope of work on this property is not cosmetic. This is, I would say, medium to heavy rehab, because you're gonna spend close to 35, 40,000. The minute you spend more than 35, 40,000, that's not a light to medium rehab, right? So right off the bat, you know, the most you should pay for the property, we said 124, assuming you're gonna spend no more than 30,000, but just by looking at the inside, it's gonna be way over 35,000. So it's not worth it. Because it's siding, location, the scope of work is huge, right? And worst of all is the second floor layout. There's nothing you can do about it, right? Unless you turn this into a 2-bedroom, which is gonna hurt your rental. Because remember, rents in Hanover Park, even though it's a B area, are not high. So to me, this is not a good deal. So right off the bat, this is how quickly you should be able to analyze the deal. We give you everything right in front of you. You don't even need to crank up the numbers. It's just location is a big deal. Are there any questions on the line? Any questions on the line? Okay, so there's a question. So on some of the properties I look up, I can see the max offer window, and some of them I can't see them. Why is that? Okay, the question is, when you analyze some properties, if you don't see these max offer, is because we don't have the square footage of the property. Okay, that is the main reason, because most of the analysis is so critical to have the square footage. If you don't have the square footage, you're shooting a dart in the blindly. Okay, so you've got to have the square footage. If we're able to get the square footage, we can do the full analysis of the property. Okay, so that is the main reason. Even with the square footage, we can have an idea of the size, how many bedrooms, how many baths. Are there any other questions on the line? Is it necessary in a rental to have 3 bedrooms? What about rentability? So it's a huge difference. So rents between a 2-bedroom and a 3-bedroom range between, I would say, 200 to 300. So it's a big difference in cash flow, okay? So you should always favor 3 bedrooms over 2 bedrooms, okay? That's just huge. Another question, John. So the cost is 110, cost of rehab 35,000, ARV 175, so 75% of ARV, 127 cash in deal. Yeah, exactly. So John is running the numbers, and would you agree, John, that it doesn't make sense to move forward? Another question is, would you bring an inspector over to the house after the contract is signed? Absolutely, I would bring an inspector, because that's like an insurance policy, right? I want them to check the mechanicals, like the HVAC. I want them to check the roof. Definitely the exterior, the fascia, the gutters, everything that I cannot see that could be super expensive. I want to make sure that I have an inspector, because then I can use that report from the inspector to get credit. Or I can just realize that it requires too much work and the numbers don't make sense. So then you back out of the deal. Another question is, So you need to bring an inspector after you sign the contract, okay? You have 5 days for attorney review and inspection, okay? So you bring the inspector after you have signed the contract. Are there any other questions? And then, is this built into the CRM? Yeah, in the CRM, you're gonna be able to plug in all these numbers. Yeah, the CRM that we give you access to is super powerful. So it allows you to keep track of absolutely everything, even if it has a schedule and agenda, tasks that you can assign there. So we're going to be doing more of these, probably at least 2 or 3 a month. I want to make sure that you get comfortable looking at properties, analyzing, understanding the scope of work. We're going to have a webinar just on scope of work. Now, if you are Blue Angel member, we're going to give you access to that spreadsheet, okay? So even though ChicagoDealVault, you have it right here. We have a rehab estimator. This is super powerful. You can use these. But if you're a Blue Angel or yearly subscriber of ChicagoDealVault, we're going to send you the spreadsheet. So please send us an email to support@ChicagoDealVault.com. We're going to make this spreadsheet available to you, okay? Because I want to make sure that it takes you seconds, right? You don't need to break your head. How much is it going to cost for this? How much is that for that? No, you don't need that, right? You just need to have it all in one place. All you need to decide is, do I need these or not? And then this is going to give you a super accurate ARV. In fact, I use these when I create the scope of work that we send to the banks, okay? So we'll make this spreadsheet available to you, yearly members. Now, what's coming up, right? I want to show you. Are there any other questions before? Do you have anything for monthly people to use? Okay, so I'm going to make an exception. I'm going to give it the first people, the first monthly subscriber, the first 5 people who sent an email right now, we're going to give it to you, okay? Just for the first 5 monthly subscribers. We don't make that spreadsheet available. So you need to be the first 5. We'll make it available to you, okay? This is just exclusively for yearly members that we may make that available. Okay, so just for the first 5, we'll make it available to you. So now I want to show you what's coming up event-wise, okay? So today we did the virtual tour. Sunday, we're going to have Gary Davidson from Castle Law. He's going to be talking about the opportunities in the midst of the coronavirus. So make sure that you join on Sunday. Next week is going to be super cool. Tuesday, we're going to have flip versus rentals on the pandemic. You know, why should you care? What should you do? And guess what? Guess what I'm going to share with you guys? We have created a very awesome framework that is going to help you. Let me show you a quick peek of what that looks like. In here, we have a flip scenario and a hold scenario, right? So we're going to run few numbers, and then the spreadsheet is going to tell you whether you should flip or hold, okay? So we have a 10x rule of thumb, right? This works like a champ, right? So you shouldn't break your head whether, oh, should I flip? Should I hold? No, it's as the science, we have reverse engineered the numbers. So we're going to tell you by the cent whether you should flip or rent the property, right? So you shouldn't question these. And also we're gonna talk about the flipping and rental markets, right? So if the spreadsheet tells you to flip it, we're just gonna double confirm that in the market that the property resides. So this is super cool. It's got another sheet where it does your amortization schedule with graphs, right? So it's going to tell you how much you're going to be paying in the principal, how long it's going to take you to pay that off. And here you can even change the term, right? So you can make it 30 years, however many years, right? So it's super cool. You put the interest rate. I mean, it's awesome, right? So this is going to help you know not only how soon you can pay the property, but also whether you should flip or rent. So we're going to be covering that. Make sure that you RSVP. This is coming next Tuesday, flip versus rentals. It's going to be super cool. Then a week from today, we're going to be talking about multifamily apartment investing. And then the most important event, I want to make sure that you RSVP, is this one. We're running a boot camp at the end of the month, May 31st. Okay, so we're going to be talking about everything. We're going to give you the blueprint of freedom. We're going to be talking about wholesaling, fix and flip, and rentals. We're going to cover everything. It's going to be like a 4-hour event. Get ready for this one. We're going to give it all to you, including our secret formula to build $1 million empire. So we built in 2.5 years, 29 rentals. So we're going to give you the secret, the formula, how you can recycle the money and grow exponentially with rentals. So we're going to give it all to you on that day. Make sure that you RSVP. We already have 46 RSVPs. We will only take the first 100. 46 already, and we are May 7th. Okay, so it's going to fill up pretty fast. So I want to make sure that you RSVP. I'm going to send you the link via the chat because save your spot for this event. Because we're going to limit this to 100 people, which will happen very, very easily. By next week, I'm sure we're going to be at probably 70% capacity. So I'll send this via the chat. Make sure that you RSVP. And then when you RSVP, we're going to give you several bonuses. Okay, I want to make sure that you all have these bonuses. So that's the link. So this is the event on May 31st. So we're going to be covering everything on the 3 exit strategies, and we're going to be giving you the seller scripts that you need to be using, marketing strategies. In here, we'll also give you access to our CRM to track all your leads, from seller leads, deals, and cash buyers, marketing materials that we have created for these, how to make an appointment a success. That's so critical. Closing practices. We're going to be covering virtual wholesaling, which is big right now. And then on the fix and flip, we're going to give you negotiating skills, funding, right, for flips. That's going to be, we're going to spend a lot of time on funding flips, identifying the best flipping markets, how to identify great contractors. We're going to be sharing some of our contractors, rehabbing cost templates. So we're going to be sharing the spreadsheet that I show you. We're going to be going down the breakdown of the rehabbing process. We're going to dissect it. We're going to be touching on the scope of work. What I talked about today, we're going to be touching up on that, and we're going to be covering the flip spreads, when it makes sense to do a flip, and what should your profit be. Make sure that you don't make some of the common mistakes. And then rentals, this is going to be my favorite topics, how you're going to be building $1 million portfolio, having a marketing team, and then covering the top rental markets, identifying hidden deals, big profit margins like home run deals, and then most importantly, presenting your deal for funding. That's going to be so cool. So only 100 seats. Okay, this is what we're going to give you when you sign up or RSVP, and this is all free, right? So we're going to give you access to ChicagoDealVault for free for 30 days. We're going to make a list of all the good off-market deals that we are finding available to you, sending you the top rental and flip markets. We're going to be training you and your VAs, if you have any, and then access to our CRM, okay? So this is how you sign up. So I send you the link for the meetup, and then also I'm going to be sending you the link to sign up for DealVault. We're going to give it to you for free. So this is the link. I'm going to send it to you right now. So this is the link to sign up, and then make sure that you select in here, as the PowerPoint says, the package is a special Chicago Deal Vault, and then the promo code is cash flow.